Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. In this video, I want to tell you about the possible culprits of lead and cadmium that could be hiding in the dark chocolate that you eat. Not just the bars, but also the powders, as well as the syrups you may be using in your food. Now, I know this is not a happy thing to hear, but Consumer Reports, as well as other researchers, have found dangerous heavy metals in chocolate from not only major name brands, but even some organic brands, all popular. So I'm going to give information on the ones that had the most and some that are safer. But before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, as well as my other videos on faith, health, and beauty all year round. This was very disconcerting to me when I started reading this information and researching online. I mean, who doesn't like chocolate? Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, ruby chocolate, whatever it is. The majority of us love chocolate. I love chocolate in small amounts. White chocolate is my favorite, but I find it so sweet that I don't eat it often. What are the chocolates that had dangerous amounts of heavy metals in them? We'll get to that, but I just want to tell you first, what is dark chocolate and what are heavy metals? So dark chocolate is one that's being recommended for years now because it has potential health benefits. Studies suggesting that dark chocolate has a rich supply of antioxidants that can improve heart health, and it's relatively low in sugar. But there's a dark side to that healthier chocolate, and it's that some of these particular bars and powders, why is that a problem? Well, consistent long-term exposure to even small amounts of heavy metals can lead to a variety of health problems, and the danger is greatest for pregnant women and young children because the metals can cause developmental problems, affecting brain development and leading to lower IQ. This is being stated by Tunde Akinleye, the Consumer Reports food safety researcher who led one of these testing projects around the country. But the risks are bad for people of any age. You don't have to be pregnant or very young. It can lead to nervous system problems, hypertension, immune system suppression, kidney damage, and reproductive issues. Now, while most people don't eat chocolate every day, 15% do. And if you aren't a frequent consumer of chocolate, lead and cadmium can still be a concern because it can be found in many other foods such as sweet potatoes, spinach, and carrots, and even small amounts from multiple sources can add to dangerous levels. We'll get to those foods in another video. So lead and cadmium generally are found in the dirt that fruits and vegetables, seeds and nuts are grown in. And the contamination has resulted from usually fertilizers that contain them, runoff water from land that has high levels of lead, cadmium, and even arsenic. That can also be from overutilizing the dirt. And now, in times past, people would allow their crop area to regenerate. They would skip years in planting, or they wouldn't totally harvest everything from the land. They would even leave the corners for people who didn't have a lot of money to glean and not go hungry. But now, since most farms are owned by corporations, well, it's constantly turned over and constantly planted in and constantly harvested, and even using manure, contaminated manure from animals that are contaminated with lead and cadmium and arsenic. So now that we've talked about the what, let's get to the brands that have been identified. Consumer Reports tested a mix of brands, including small ones such as Alter Echo and Mast. I've eaten some Alter Echo, but I won't need more. And more familiar ones like Dove, Ghirardelli, and Hershey. Now, out of the 23 bars, eating just 1 ounce a day would put an adult over a level that public authorities say can be harmful for at least one of those heavy metals. 5 of the bars were above those levels for both cadmium and lead. So I'm going to give you the ones that had the worst results. Teo, T-H-E-O, which I've eaten in the past, that's organic pure chocolate. Dark chocolate contains at least 70% cacao and higher. The pure dark chocolate bar tested for 120% lead and 142% cadmium contamination, meaning whatever the safe levels are, these were way above it. Trader Joe's dark chocolate lovers, 85% cacao, 120% lead contamination, 229% cadmium. Teo had several bars that made the list, as well as Lily's extremely dark chocolate, 85% cocoa, 143% lead contamination, 101% cadmium contamination. Green and Black's organic dark chocolate, 70% cacao, is one of those products you see in store that bakers use. Well, 143% lead contamination, 181% cadmium contamination. High in cadmium, Beyond Good, 70 and 80% cocoa. Equal Exchange, 80% cacao. Lindt, 70% cocoa. Alter Echo Chocolate Classic Blackout, 85% cacao. Scharfenberger Extra Dark, 82% cacao. And Dove Promises Deeper Dark Chocolate, 70% cacao. Dove actually had one of the lower amounts for cadmium. Lead, 74%, but 112% for cadmium. High in lead, you've seen Tony's everywhere. The Chocolonely dark chocolate, 70% cocoa, 134% lead contamination, 20% cadmium. Making the list also, high Lily's with 144%, the 70% cocoa. Godiva Signature Dark Chocolate, 72% cacao, 146% lead. Chocolove, Lindt, Endangered Species, even Trader Joe's Dark Chocolate, 72% cacao, 192% lead contamination. And one that really shocked me was Hoop, HU, Organic Dark Chocolate, 210% lead. Chocolove was another surprise. Extreme Dark Chocolate, 88% cacao, 240% lead. And the highest for lead contamination was Hershey's Special Dark Miley Sweet Chocolate with 265% contamination. And now you get to ones that had both, which are the ones we first mentioned, and you've got yourself a real serious health problem when you consistently eat it. For the test, they used California's maximum allowable dose level, or the MADL, of 0.5 micrograms for lead and 4.1 micrograms for cadmium. And the percentages were the MADL supplied in an ounce of each chocolate. Now it's just an ounce, not even the whole bar, which means it gets worse the more you eat. And the results showed they had comparatively higher levels and are not assessments of whether a product exceeds a legal standard. Those levels were used, they said, because there are no federal limits for the amount of lead and cadmium most foods can contain, which is really scary. Consumer Reports scientists said that they believe that California's levels are the most protective available. While both cadmium and lead pose serious health risks, products within each category are listed in order of lead level because that heavy metal poses particular concerns and no amount of it is considered safe. Now, speaking of safe, let's get to some safe choices for you with the test. Mast Organic Dark Chocolate, 80% cocoa. Teza Chocolate Organic Deliciously Dark Chocolate, 70% cacao. Ghirardelli Intense Dark Chocolate, 86% cacao. And 72% cacao for the Twilight Delight. Valrhona Albino Dark Chocolate, 85% cacao. They all had levels that were much lower. Mast being the lowest with 14% for lead and 40% for cadmium. After that, you get to 30s and 70s. So Mast looks like the safest choice. Now there's also a separate test that was done for powders. And if you'd like to find out about those, let me know in the comments. There are also some contamination in spices containing lead and arsenic, as well as ground meat, which I've discussed before. But if you like some videos on those contamination levels, let me know in the comments. And if you know some information that might be helpful to us, let us know in the comments as well. Also, if this video has been helpful to you, and I really hope it has been, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and click the notification button so you can keep up with any videos I put out on these when they do release. I don't do them in a particular cycle, but when I find information that I know will be of benefit to you and help you, I make those videos and put them up immediately. So click that bell so you don't miss out on any. So that's it for now. You know to be very cautious and selective on the type of dark chocolate you eat now, and that's going to help you to live a healthier life. Also, treating chocolate as a treat, not something you have every day. And also trying cacao and cocoa dark chocolates that have lower percentages of cacao can also be a way to go as well. Thank you for joining me. I'm Julie. Continue to be happy, healthy, whole, and also wonderful, my specials. See you next time.